It's been a challenge up to this point in time, but the thing that I'm most impressed with as we've gone forward is the amount of work that everyone has put into it, and certainly Bonner Park, the Bonner Park board, we've had some very good discussions with them. We've had good discussions with the city of Grand Island, and as we've gone forward with this thing, I think the thing that's probably the most exciting as I look around this room, there's a lot of dynamics in this room, and as we go forward with what we're going to present to you, I think it's going to make it much easier because this is going to be good for certainly the State Fair. It's going to be good for Bonner Park. It's going to be good for Grand Island, and more importantly, it'll be good for the state of Nebraska. So
this is their home, and we're coming in and we're making improvements to their home, and we wanted to make sure they were done in a complimentary manner. And I'll highlight on the site plan that you can see here, there has been changes from the original plan, and that was again done in close cooperation with the Bonner board. Is, if you recall, the original Grand Island proposal went into the current horse racing area quite a bit on that, and then our consultant that helped us, and we had laid out a plan across the southern part. A couple of realizations came into place, because this is sort of like a three-dimensional game of chess, is that certainly what works for the Nebraska State Fair during our time also has to work during the horse racing season and the operations there. It has to work and be a complement and benefit to the Heartland Event Center over in that area. And as importantly, it has to work off-season for these buildings to be usable, to bring other events to these fairgrounds, to the Bonner Park area throughout the year. And so with that in mind, and a realization is that we were not going to be able to move forward without impairing the horse racing operations at this area, is that we have aligned our new buildings in this area, which would be the green area, the west end of the parking lot that has the white fence over there. We stay off, no buildings are put on the current athletic fields over in this area. However, we do indicate them as being temporary fair parking during the period of the State Fair. And at this point, these are, I don't want to say preliminary, because we have with Bonner agreed upon the locations of these buildings. This is at this point the bones, if you will, and I think they're pretty good bones of what the major new structures would be out here. And let me point out a couple of very important things. Is that the city building, that building is located over in this area on the northern part, again with access to the available parking fields, and all the existing parking fields in the existing entrances remain the same. And then there's another large exhibition building which the Bonner Park Board was particularly interested in on complementing activities, attracting other events to the Bonner area. That's right across from the current event center. The building that we're featuring today, which means we've worked the hardest on to just get out of the way, is, and I don't mean it because it's been a lot of fun. And this is the building over here. We have combined a livestock building with the beef barn and the sheep and goat barn with an arena, which we're tentatively calling Champions Hall, into one structure over there, which should a 250,000 square foot building, $15 to $20 million in total cost. This will be, and we are trying to find someplace in this country, is that a bigger livestock exhibition building, but we have yet to find one. And we think that this building in particular, in not only meeting the needs of the State Fair, will be a particularly attractive building that will be utilized throughout the year for different events, because, and Jerry, you might comment to that as far as on being an exhibitor part on it, this simply does not exist to have this critical mass, whether in Denver, Kansas City,
I
or...
would think you would have to go from Denver to Louisville. Kansas City would be one of those, but Kansas City area is, their unit is not as big as that. You could go south to Houston, and those would be those facilities. This facility was designed and looked at, and a lot of people have shown cattle, shown livestock, and whatever it is. So many of your multi-purpose buildings that are across the country that are used for livestock buildings were designed as multi-purpose buildings and converted to a livestock building. And case in point would be even the Quest Center where the Exarban is held in Omaha. That building is a great building for livestock on the inside, but it's got a lot of creature comforts that aren't there as far as wash racks and those sort of things that are needed. So this building was built, or designed, it's certainly not built yet, but designed with the idea that this building is designed as a livestock building first that can be converted into a multi-purpose building. And that, it doesn't sound like much of a difference, but people who have hauled livestock across the road will understand exactly what I mean. So it's a building that I think if it happens the way we would like to have it happen, I think you're going to have a large number of people from a bigger area want to bring livestock here and show it. I think it'll be a centerpiece, and success builds success. We all know that. So this is a very unique building, and the opportunities that it prevails for us and for Fauner Park and for Grand Island, and certainly for the state, because I think this is a building that people across the state can use not only for livestock events, but other events, that it's going to be a regional center, could be a very nice regional center to be used. So.
As you see, this building is here, and again, taking advantage of the existing parking fields, but again, not interfering with the operations of the horse racing operations or of the Heartland Event Center. And then we have a new swine barn at the lower end at this location. Some other exciting things that we don't have shown here, we just have it listed, is that we have been working with the Games and Parks Commission, is having an indoor-outdoor display area, possibly a permanent office type space area up here in this area, again to enhance the area. And also is that as much as possible is that this area for Fauner Park throughout the year has many events, not only going on in the Heartland Event Center and of course the racing season, but that you know, we get as much as possible going on at all times during the off-fair season. The plans in moving forward as a approximate timeline is that, of course, the first date for compliance by all the parties has passed, the October 1st date. The State Fair and the state has certified the compliance of course, Grand Island towards their part of the funds available for that, and the university has complied also. We are getting into a plan phase on this. As you see, the efforts on this one building. The other buildings are under plans, and they're not quite to this level yet. The architect is preparing bid packages, or what is will be entailed with people taking a look at this. We will be bidding this, all the buildings here, to firms across Nebraska. We will limit it to Nebraska. There will also be an emphasis on utilizing a preference, all things being equal, of using local Grand Island companies, subcontractors, and so forth is in the construction of this. We would hope to be underway, to be in a plan phase, and this would be in close cooperation with the Fauner Board on the buildings that we're coming up with, and hopefully we're digging at the beginning of spring next year. We feel particularly fortunate, the way that this has been set up, is that the State Fair is, through the good efforts of our staff and this board, we're debt-free. We're going into this with it in mind, is that we don't want to incur debt certainly that is a concern of Fauner, that is a concern of the city. We are going to be as bulletproof and economically, how do you want to say, prudent as possible in going forward. And so we are going to do only what we can afford.